Hello guys, welcome to the Anionegai What Ifs. Today we are gonna see, what if Naruto rebuilds the Uzumaki clan? If you want more awesome fan fiction like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, so without wasting any time, let's get into the video. The morning sun cast a warm glow over the village of Konoha as Naruto Uzumaki stood before the towering gates, a sense of determination burning in his azure eyes. Behind him stood his comrades, Sakura Haruno and Sasuke Uchiha, their expressions mirrored his own. Today marked the beginning of a new chapter in Naruto's life, a journey he had long dreamed of undertaking. Are you ready, Naruto? Sakura's voice broke the silence, her green eyes filled with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. Naruto grinned, his trademark smile lighting up his face. You bet I am, Sakura-chan. It's time to find my family and rebuild the Uzumaki clan. Sasuke nodded in agreement, his dark eyes betraying a hint of curiosity. We're with you, Naruto. Let's make this happen. With a shared nod, the trio stepped through the gates and out into the world beyond, embarking on a journey that would take them to the farthest reaches of the ninja world. Their first destination was the land of whirlpools, the former homeland of the Uzumaki clan. As they traveled, Naruto couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation building within him. For years, he had longed to learn more about his heritage, to uncover the secrets of the clan that had once been so revered. As they approached the ruins of Uzumaki, Naruto's heart swelled with a mixture of pride and sorrow. The village lay in ruins, a stark reminder of the Uzumaki's tragic past. But Naruto refused to let despair consume him. Instead, he focused on the task at hand. Finding any surviving members of his clan and bringing them together once more. Their search led them to the outskirts of the village, where they encountered an elderly couple tending to a small garden. Naruto approached them with a polite bow, his heart pounding with anticipation. Excuse me, do you know if there are any descendants of the Uzumaki clan still living in this area? He asked, his voice tinged with hope. The old man regarded Naruto with a shrewd gaze, his eyes twinkling with recognition. Why, you must be Naruto Uzumaki, the Seventh Hokage himself, he said, his voice tinged with reverence. It's an honor to meet you, young man. Naruto blinked in surprise, unused to such deference. Yeah, that's me. But please, just call me Naruto. And you are? The old man chuckled, his weathered face creasing into a warm smile. I am Teru Uzumaki, and this is my wife, Aiko. We are the last surviving members of the Uzumaki clan in this village. Naruto's heart soared at the news. You're Uzumaki? He exclaimed, barely able to contain his excitement. That's incredible. I've been searching for my family for so long. Naruto nodded, his expression solemn. Indeed, it has been a long and difficult journey for our clan. But perhaps now, with your guidance, we can begin to rebuild what was lost. With renewed determination, Naruto vowed to help his newfound relatives in any way he could. Together, they set to work, laying the foundations for a new Uzumaki clan that would honor the legacy of their ancestors. As they worked, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling of belonging that washed over him. For the first time in his life, he truly felt like he was home. The days turned into weeks, and Naruto threw himself into his new role with passion and zeal. With Sakura and Sasuke by his side, he traveled far and wide, seeking out other descendants of the Uzumaki clan and bringing them back to Uzumaki. Each new member brought with them their own unique skills and abilities, enriching the clan in ways Naruto had never imagined possible. Together, they worked tirelessly to rebuild their village, turning the ruins of Uzumaki into a thriving community once more. But their journey was not without its challenges. Along the way, they encountered opposition from rival ninja clans who sought to destroy the fledgling Uzumaki clan before it could take root. In the face of adversity, Naruto remained undaunted, drawing strength from the bonds he had forged with his newfound family. With courage and determination, they faced their enemies head-on, emerging victorious time and time again. As the sun set on another day in Uzumaki, Naruto stood atop the village's highest tower, gazing out over the land with pride. Below him, the village bustled with life, a testament to the resilience of the Uzumaki clan. With his friends and family by his side, Naruto knew that no matter what trials may come, they would face them together, bound by the unbreakable bonds of family and legacy. And so, with a renewed sense of purpose, he looked to the future, ready to embrace whatever challenges lay ahead. The days in Uzumaki passed in a flurry of activity as Naruto and his companions worked tirelessly to rebuild the once glorious village. But amidst the hustle and bustle of construction, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling of curiosity that gnawed at him. He longed to learn more about the history of his clan, to uncover the secrets that had been lost to time. Determined to satisfy his curiosity, Naruto sought out Teru and Aiko, the elderly couple who were the last surviving members of the Uzumaki clan in the village. They welcomed him warmly into their home, offering him tea as they settled in for a long conversation. Tell me about the Uzumaki clan, Naruto began, his eyes sparkling with anticipation. I want to know everything. Taro nodded solemnly, his gaze distant as memories of days gone by flooded back to him. The Uzumaki clan was once one of the most powerful and revered clans in the ninja world, he began. We were known for our incredible vitality and our mastery of sealing techniques. Our village, Uzushiogakure, was a beacon of hope and prosperity, a place where all were welcome. Naruto listened intently as Taro recounted tales of the clan's glory days, his heart swelling with pride at the thought of his ancestors' achievements. But as Taro spoke, Naruto sensed a hint of sadness in his voice, a shadow that lingered over the memories of better times. What happened to the clan? Naruto asked, his voice soft with concern. Taro sighed, his gaze dropping to the floor. Our downfall began with the rise of the Great Ninja Wars, he explained. As the world descended into chaos, Uzushiogakure became a target for rival nations seeking to eliminate us as a threat. In the end, our village was destroyed and many of our people were scattered to the winds. Naruto's heart ached at the thought of his ancestors' suffering, but he refused to let despair consume him. Instead, he focused on the task at hand. Rebuilding the Uzumaki clan and restoring its former glory. We won't let the past define us, Naruto vowed, his voice filled with determination. We'll create a new future for the Uzumaki clan, one filled with hope and prosperity. With renewed resolve, Naruto set out to uncover any remaining descendants of the Uzumaki clan, determined to bring them home to Uzushiogakure. Along the way, he encountered Karen, a fiery-haired kunoichi who claimed to be a distant relative of the Uzumaki clan. At first, Karen was hesitant to trust Naruto and his companions, her past experiences leaving her wary of forming attachments. But as they traveled together, she began to open up, sharing her own stories of loss and longing. I never knew much about my family, Karen confessed, her voice tinged with sadness. But when I learned that I was descended from the Uzumaki clan, something inside me stirred. I felt a connection to them, a sense of belonging that I had never felt before. Naruto nodded in understanding, his heart going out to Karen. He knew all too well the pain of feeling alone in the world, of longing for a family that he had never known. You're not alone anymore, Karen, Naruto assured her, his voice filled with warmth. We're your family now, and we'll stand by you no matter what. With tears of gratitude in her eyes, Karen joined Naruto and his companions on their journey, her heart filled with hope for the future. As they traveled, Naruto couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement building within him. With each new member they added to their growing clan, he felt a little closer to fulfilling his dream of rebuilding the Uzumaki clan. But little did he know, their journey was far from over, and the challenges that lay ahead would test their bonds in ways they never could have imagined. As the days turned into weeks in Uzushiogakure, Naruto and his companions faced a new set of challenges as they worked tirelessly to rebuild their clan. The once ruined village began to take shape, its streets bustling with life once more. But amidst the progress, tension simmered beneath the surface, threatening to tear the fledgling Uzumaki clan apart. One of the greatest challenges Naruto faced was uniting the diverse group of individuals who made up the clan. Each member brought with them their own unique talents and personalities, but also their own past traumas and grievances. Among the clan members was Yumi, a young Uzumaki orphan who had lost her family in the destruction of Uzushiogakure. Despite Naruto's best efforts to reach out to her, Yumi remained distant and aloof, her heart hardened by years of loneliness and pain. Naruto, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but I don't need your pity, Yumi snapped one day, her voice tinged with bitterness. I've survived on my own this long, I don't need anyone else. Naruto's heart ached at Yumi's words, but he refused to give up on her. He knew that beneath her tough exterior lay a wounded soul in need of healing. We're not trying to pity you, Yumi, Naruto replied gently, his voice filled with sincerity. We just want to help you find your place here, among your fellow clan members. Yumi remained silent, her gaze fixed on the ground as she wrestled with her inner demons. But deep down, she couldn't deny the longing she felt to belong, to be a part of something greater than herself. As the days passed, Naruto and his companions continued to work tirelessly to integrate Yumi and other reluctant clan members into the community. They organized group training sessions and social gatherings, providing opportunities for the clan members to bond and forge connections with one another. Slowly but surely, Yumi began to open up, allowing herself to form tentative friendships with her fellow Uzumaki. She discovered a sense of belonging within the clan, a feeling of camaraderie that she had never experienced before. But just as it seemed that the clan was beginning to find its footing, a new threat emerged that threatened to tear them apart. Rumors began to spread of rival ninja clans who saw the Uzumaki clan as a threat to their power and sought to eliminate them before they could become a force to be reckoned with. Naruto knew that they could not afford to underestimate their enemies. With the help of his companions, he bolstered the village's defenses and trained the clan members in combat techniques, preparing them for the inevitable confrontation that loomed on the horizon. Sure enough, it wasn't long before the village came under attack by a band of mercenaries hired by one of the rival ninja clans. Naruto and his companions sprang into action, leading the clan members in a fierce battle to defend their home and their newfound family. The battle was intense and chaotic, with explosions rocking the village and the clash of metal echoing through the streets. But Naruto and his comrades fought with courage and determination, refusing to back down in the face of overwhelming odds. As the dust settled and the last of the attackers were driven off, Naruto surveyed the aftermath of the battle with a mixture of relief and sadness. The village lay in ruins once more, its streets littered with debris and the scent of smoke hanging heavy in the air. But amidst the destruction, Naruto saw something else. Resilience and hope shining in the eyes of his fellow clan members. Despite the hardships they had endured, they remained unbroken, their bond stronger than ever before. "We may have lost this battle, but we will not lose the war," Naruto vowed, his voice ringing out with conviction. "We will rebuild, we will grow stronger, and we will show the world that the Uzumaki clan will not be defeated so easily." And with those words, Naruto and his companions set to work once more, determined to overcome whatever trials lay ahead and emerge victorious in the end. For they knew that as long as they stood together, nothing could ever tear them apart. In the aftermath of the attack on Uzumaki, Naruto and his companions worked tirelessly to rebuild the village and strengthen the bonds that held the Uzumaki clan together. Despite the destruction wrought by their enemies, the spirit of the clan remained unbroken, their determination only growing stronger in the face of adversity. As they labored side by side, Naruto found himself marveling at the resilience of his fellow clan members. Each one brought with them a unique set of skills and experiences, but it was their unwavering dedication to one another that truly set them apart. One day, as Naruto was overseeing the reconstruction efforts, he noticed Yumi sitting alone by the river, her expression troubled. Sensing that something was amiss, Naruto approached her with a gentle smile. "Hey, Yumi, is everything okay?" he asked, his voice filled with concern. Yumi looked up, her eyes filled with uncertainty. "I'm not sure, Naruto. I just can't shake this feeling that I'm not strong enough to protect the people I care about." Naruto sat down beside her, placing a comforting hand on her shoulder. "Yumi, strength isn't just about physical power," he said earnestly. "It's about the bonds we share with one another, the trust and support that allow us to overcome any obstacle." Yumi listened intently to Naruto's words, her heart swelling with hope. For the first time in her life, she began to truly believe that she was capable of making a difference, of protecting those she held dear. With Naruto's encouragement, Yumi threw herself into her training with renewed determination, pushing herself to new heights and discovering strength she never knew she possessed. And as she grew stronger, so too did the bond she shared with her fellow clan members, forging a sense of unity that was unbreakable. But amidst the progress, tensions still lingered within the clan. Old rivalries resurfaced, and disagreements arose over how best to move forward in the wake of the attack. Naruto knew that if they were to truly thrive as a community, they would need to address these issues head-on. Gathering the clan members together, Naruto spoke from the heart, urging them to put aside their differences and come together as one. He reminded them of the sacrifices they had made and the hardships they had overcome, emphasizing the importance of unity in the face of adversity. His words struck a chord with the clan members, and slowly but surely, the tensions began to ease. They realized that they were stronger together than they ever could be apart, and that by working as a team, they could achieve anything they set their minds to. As the days passed, Naruto and his companions continued to foster a sense of camaraderie within the clan, organizing group activities and training exercises to strengthen their bonds. They laughed together, fought together, and celebrated together, forging memories that would last a lifetime. And amidst it all, Naruto couldn't help but feel a sense of pride swell within him. The Uzumaki clan was more than just a group of individuals, they were a family, bound together by the unbreakable ties of friendship and loyalty. As the sun set over Uzumaki, casting a warm glow over the village, Naruto looked out over the bustling streets with a smile. Though their journey was far from over, he knew that as long as they stood together, they could overcome any challenge that came their way. For in the end, it was their bonds that made them truly invincible. And as long as they held fast to one another, there was nothing they couldn't achieve. As peace settled over Uzumaki and the Uzumaki clan continued to thrive, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling of unease that gnawed at him. Despite their recent victories and the bonds they had forged, a sense of foreboding lingered in the air, like a dark cloud on the horizon. One evening, as Naruto patrolled the village, he sensed a disturbance in the chakra currents that permeated the air. Instinctively, he knew that trouble was brewing, and he wasted no time in rallying his companions to investigate. Together, they ventured into the depths of the forest surrounding the village, their senses on high alert for any sign of danger. But as they delved deeper into the shadows, they were met with an eerie silence that sent shivers down their spines. Suddenly, a voice cut through the darkness, chilling Naruto to the bone. Well, if it isn't the Seventh Hokage and his merry band of misfits." Naruto's eyes narrowed as a figure emerged from the shadows, his face obscured by a mask. He recognized the voice immediately. It belonged to Kuro, a rogue ninja who had long been a thorn in his side. "What do you want, Kuro?" Naruto demanded, his voice laced with authority. Kuro chuckled darkly, his eyes gleaming with malice. "Oh, nothing much, just a little payback for all the trouble you've caused me over the years." Before Naruto could react, a group of masked mercenaries emerged from the shadows, surrounding them on all sides. With weapons drawn and eyes filled with hatred, they advanced on Naruto and his companions, ready to strike. Naruto sprang into action, his reflexes honed by years of training and experience. With lightning-fast movements, he dodged their attacks and countered with a barrage of punches and kicks, his fists crackling with chakra. But the mercenaries were relentless, their numbers overwhelming. For every one they defeated, two more seemed to take their place, their attacks growing more ferocious with each passing moment. Sasuke and Sakura fought alongside Naruto, their skills complementing his own as they battled their way through the throng of enemies. But despite their best efforts, they soon found themselves outnumbered and outmatched. Just when it seemed that all hope was lost, a sudden burst of chakra erupted from the forest, sending the mercenaries flying back with a forceful gust of wind. As the dust settled, a figure emerged from the shadows, his presence commanding and powerful. It was Nagato, the former leader of the Akatsuki and a fellow descendant of the Uzumaki clan. His eyes glowed with an otherworldly light as he surveyed the battlefield, his gaze piercing through the darkness like a beacon of hope. "Nagato!" Naruto exclaimed, relief flooding through him at the sight of his old friend. Nagato nodded in acknowledgement, his expression grave. "It seems that our enemies are more persistent than we anticipated," he said, his voice tinged with concern. "But fear not, for we will not let them succeed." With Nagato's help, Naruto and his companions fought back against the mercenaries with renewed vigor, their combined strength overwhelming their foes. Together, they drove the attackers back into the forest, their determination unyielding. As the last of the mercenaries retreated into the shadows, Naruto turned to Nagato with a grateful smile. "Thank you, Nagato. We couldn't have done it without you." Nagato nodded in response, his eyes filled with a mixture of sadness and resolve. "It is my duty to protect the Uzumaki clan, no matter the cost," he said solemnly. "But be warned, Naruto. This attack was just the beginning. Our enemies will stop at nothing to destroy us, and we must be prepared for whatever may come." Naruto's heart sank at Nagato's words, but he refused to be deterred. He knew that as long as they stood together, they could overcome any challenge that lay ahead. And with the bonds they had forged, they were stronger than ever before. As they made their way back to Uzumaki, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling of unease that lingered in the air. But amidst the shadows of the past, he found solace in the knowledge that no matter what trials may come, they would face them together, united as one clan, one family. In the wake of the attack orchestrated by Kuro and his mercenaries, a sense of unease settled over Uzumaki. Naruto and his companions remained vigilant, knowing that their enemies would not rest until they had achieved their nefarious goals. But amidst the tension and uncertainty, a glimmer of hope emerged in the form of an unexpected ally. One evening, as Naruto patrolled the village, he sensed a familiar presence lurking in the shadows. With a sense of apprehension, he followed the trail of chakra until he came face to face with a figure shrouded in darkness. "Who's there?" Naruto called out, his voice tinged with caution. The figure emerged from the shadows, revealing himself to be none other than Kabuto Yakushi, a former enemy turned reluctant ally. His eyes bore a haunted expression, the weight of his past sins heavy upon his shoulders. "Naruto Uzumaki," Kabuto greeted him, his voice tinged with sincerity. "I come to you seeking redemption for my past actions. I wish to atone for the sins I have committed and to aid you in your quest to protect the Uzumaki clan." Naruto regarded Kabuto with a mixture of suspicion and curiosity. He remembered all too well the havoc Kabuto had wreaked during the Fourth Great Ninja War, his mastery of medical ninjutsu, and his allegiance to the sinister forces of Orochimaru. "You expect us to trust you after everything you've done?" Naruto asked, his voice laced with skepticism. Kabuto nodded solemnly, his gaze unwavering. "I understand that I have much to prove, Naruto. But I assure you, my intentions are genuine. I have renounced my ties to Orochimaru and seek only to atone for my past transgressions." Naruto studied Kabuto's face, searching for any hint of deceit. But to his surprise, he found only sincerity in Kabuto's eyes, a genuine desire to make amends for his past mistakes. "Very well, Kabuto. If you truly wish to help us, then I will give you the chance to prove yourself," Naruto said, his voice firm. "But know that if you betray us, there will be no second chances." Kabuto bowed his head in gratitude, his expression filled with determination. "Thank you, Naruto. I will not disappoint you." With Kabuto's unexpected aid, Naruto and his companions set to work bolstering the village's defenses and preparing for the inevitable confrontation with their enemies. Kabuto's knowledge of medical ninjutsu proved invaluable as he shared his expertise with the clan members, teaching them techniques to heal and protect themselves in battle. But as they trained and prepared for the coming conflict, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling of unease that lingered in the air. He knew that their enemies were growing bolder by the day and that they would need to be ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. Sure enough, it wasn't long before Kuro and his mercenaries launched another attack on Uzumaki, their numbers bolstered by the addition of powerful new allies. Naruto and his companions fought bravely, their determination unwavering as they battled against overwhelming odds. But despite their best efforts, it soon became clear that they were outmatched. Kuro's forces pressed forward relentlessly, their attacks growing more ferocious with each passing moment. Just when it seemed that all hope was lost, Kabuto stepped forward, his hands glowing with a soft green light. With a few swift movements, he unleashed a powerful healing jutsu, restoring his comrades to full health and bolstering their strength for the battle ahead. Naruto watched in awe as Kabuto fought alongside them, his skill and determination matching their own. Despite his past sins, there was no denying that Kabuto had truly turned over a new leaf, his actions speaking louder than words ever could. With Kabuto's aid, Naruto and his companions rallied together, their spirits renewed as they fought back against their enemies with renewed vigor. Together, they pushed Kuro's forces back, driving them out of the village and into the surrounding forest. As the dust settled and the last of their enemies retreated into the shadows, Naruto turned to Kabuto with a grateful smile. "Thank you, Kabuto. You saved us back there." Kabuto nodded in acknowledgement, his expression filled with a sense of peace. "It was the least I could do, Naruto. I may never be able to fully atone for my past sins, but I will spend the rest of my days trying to make things right." And with those words, Kabuto proved himself to be a true ally to the Uzumaki clan, his actions serving as a testament to the power of redemption and the enduring strength of the human spirit. In the aftermath of the battle against Kuro and his mercenaries, Uzumaki stood battered but unbroken, its streets littered with debris and its people weary but determined. Naruto and his companions surveyed the damage with heavy hearts, knowing that their enemies would not rest until they had achieved their nefarious goals. But amidst the rubble and ruin, a sense of resolve filled the air as the Uzumaki clan vowed to rebuild stronger than ever before. As they gathered in the village square to discuss their next steps, Naruto addressed the gathered clan members with a sense of determination in his voice. "My friends, we have faced many trials and tribulations on our journey to rebuild the Uzumaki clan," he began, his voice ringing out with authority. "But no matter what challenges may come our way, we will face them together, united as one family, one clan." The clan members nodded in agreement, their expressions filled with determination. They knew that the path forward would not be easy, but they were prepared to face whatever obstacles stood in their way. With Kabuto's unexpected aid, Naruto and his companions began to formulate a plan to root out the remaining threats to the village and ensure the safety of its inhabitants. They organized patrols to keep watch over the surrounding forests and bolstered the village's defenses to prevent any further attacks. But even as they prepared for the coming conflict, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling of unease that gnawed at him. He knew that their enemies were growing bolder by the day and that they would need to be ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. Sure enough, it wasn't long before Kuro and his mercenaries launched another attack on Uzumaki, their numbers bolstered by the addition of powerful new allies. Naruto and his companions fought bravely, their determination unwavering as they battled against overwhelming odds. But despite their best efforts, it soon became clear that they were outmatched. Kuro's forces pressed forward relentlessly, their attacks growing more ferocious with each passing moment. Just when it seemed that all hope was lost, Kabuto stepped forward, his hands glowing with a soft green light. With a few swift movements, he unleashed a powerful healing jutsu, restoring his comrades to full health and bolstering their strength for the battle ahead. Naruto watched in awe as Kabuto fought alongside them, his skill and determination matching their own. Despite his past sins, there was no denying that Kabuto had truly turned over a new leaf, his actions speaking louder than words ever could. With Kabuto's aid, Naruto and his companions rallied together, their spirits renewed as they fought back against their enemies with renewed vigor. Together, they pushed Kuro's forces back, driving them out of the village and into the surrounding forest. As the dust settled and the last of their enemies retreated into the shadows, Naruto turned to Kabuto with a grateful smile. "Thank you, Kabuto. You saved us back there." Kabuto nodded in acknowledgement, his expression filled with a sense of peace. "It was the least I could do, Naruto. I may never be able to fully atone for my past sins, but I will spend the rest of my days trying to make things right." And with those words, Kabuto proved himself to be a true ally to the Uzumaki clan, his actions serving as a testament to the power of redemption and the enduring strength of the human spirit. With their enemies defeated and the village safe once more, Naruto and his companions turned their attention to the task of rebuilding. Together, they worked tirelessly to repair the damage wrought by the recent attacks and strengthen the village's defenses against any future threats. But even as they worked, a sense of unease lingered in the air, a reminder of the dangers that lurked just beyond the horizon. Naruto knew that their journey was far from over and that they would need to remain vigilant if they were to ensure the safety and prosperity of the Uzumaki clan. As the sun set over Uzumaki, casting a warm glow over the village, Naruto stood atop the highest tower, gazing out over the bustling streets below. Despite the challenges that lay ahead, he felt a sense of hope stirring within him, a belief that no matter what trials may come, they would face them together, united as one clan, one family. And as he looked to the future, Naruto knew that no matter what obstacles they may encounter, the path forward would be one filled with hope, courage, and the unbreakable bonds of friendship and loyalty. As Naruto settled into his role as the leader of the Uzumaki clan, he found himself facing a new set of challenges, ones that tested not only his strength and skill as a ninja, but also his abilities as a leader. The weight of responsibility lay heavy on his shoulders as he grappled with a myriad of decisions that came with guiding his clan through the trials that lay ahead. One of the greatest challenges Naruto faced was balancing the needs of the clan with the demands of the outside world. As Uzumaki continued to rebuild and grow, neighboring villages and nations began to take notice of their newfound strength and sought to forge alliances or form rivalries. Navigating the delicate politics of the ninja world proved to be no easy task, as Naruto found himself caught in a web of intrigue and deception. He knew that every decision he made had far-reaching consequences, not just for the Uzumaki clan, but for the entire village. One day, as Naruto sat in his office, poring over maps and scrolls in an attempt to devise a strategy for the village's defense, he was interrupted by a knock on the door. "Come in," Naruto called out, his voice tinged with weariness. The door swung open, revealing Sakura Haruno, her expression serious as she entered the room. "Naruto, we need to talk," she said, her voice firm. Naruto looked up from his work, concern flashing in his eyes. "What's wrong, Sakura? Is everything okay?" Sakura took a seat opposite Naruto, her expression grave. "It's about the recent attacks on the village," she began. "I fear that our enemies may be growing bolder by the day and that we may soon face a threat greater than anything we've encountered before." Naruto's heart sank at Sakura's words, but he refused to let despair consume him. He knew that they would need to remain vigilant if they were to protect the village and its inhabitants from harm. "You're right, Sakura. We can't afford to let our guard down," Naruto replied, his voice filled with determination. "We'll need to increase patrols along the village perimeter and strengthen our defenses in case of another attack." Sakura nodded in agreement, her expression filled with determination. "I'll make sure to coordinate with the other ninja teams and get everything set up as soon as possible." As Sakura left the room to carry out her orders, Naruto couldn't help but feel a sense of unease settle over him. The trials of leadership weighed heavily on his mind, reminding him of the immense responsibility he bore as the leader of the Uzumaki clan. But even as he grappled with his doubts and fears, Naruto knew that he could not afford to falter. He had sworn to protect the village and its inhabitants, and he would do whatever it took to fulfill that promise. In the days that followed, Naruto worked tirelessly to strengthen the village's defenses and prepare for the inevitable conflict that loomed on the horizon. He organized training exercises for the clan members, honing their skills and preparing them for battle. But despite their best efforts, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling of impending doom that hung over the village like a dark cloud. He knew that their enemies were growing bolder by the day and that they would need to be prepared for whatever challenges lay ahead. Sure enough, it wasn't long before Uzumaki came under attack once more, this time by a powerful rogue ninja who sought to claim the village as his own. Naruto and his companions fought bravely, their determination unwavering as they battled against overwhelming odds. But despite their best efforts, they soon found themselves outnumbered and outmatched. The rogue ninja unleashed a barrage of powerful jutsu, their destructive force shaking the very foundations of the village. As the battle raged on, Naruto found himself faced with a difficult decision. With the village in danger of being overrun, he knew that he would need to make a sacrifice in order to protect the ones he loved. Summoning all of his strength and resolve, Naruto unleashed his most powerful jutsu, channeling the Nine Tails chakra within him to create a massive barrier that shielded the village from harm. The sheer force of the jutsu sent shockwaves rippling through the air, pushing back the rogue ninja and his forces with a deafening roar. But as the dust settled and the last of their enemies retreated into the shadows, Naruto collapsed to the ground, exhausted and drained from the effort. His body ached with pain, but his spirit remained unbroken. As he looked out over the village, Naruto knew that the trials of leadership would never truly end. But no matter what challenges may come their way, he would face them head-on, guided by the unbreakable bonds of friendship, loyalty, and the unwavering spirit of the Uzumaki clan. In the aftermath of the devastating attack on Uzumaki, the village lay in ruins, its streets littered with debris and its people reeling from the destruction. Naruto and his companions worked tirelessly to aid the wounded and repair the damage, but the scars of the battle ran deep, both physically and emotionally. As they struggled to rebuild their homes and their lives, tension simmered beneath the surface, threatening to tear apart the bonds that held the Uzumaki clan together. Disagreements arose over how best to proceed, with some advocating for a more aggressive approach to defending the village, while others argued for a more cautious strategy. Naruto found himself caught in the middle of the conflict, torn between the desires of his fellow clan members and his own instincts as a leader. He knew that they would need to stand united if they were to overcome the challenges that lay ahead, but finding common ground seemed impossible in the face of such adversity. One evening, as Naruto sat alone in his office, poring over maps and scrolls in an attempt to devise a strategy for the village's defense, he was interrupted by a knock on the door. "Come in," Naruto called out, his voice tinged with weariness. The door swung open, revealing Karen, her expression serious as she entered the room. "Naruto, we need to talk," she said, her voice firm. Naruto looked up from his work, concern flashing in his eyes. "What's wrong, Karen? Is everything okay?" Karen took a seat opposite Naruto, her expression grave. "It's about the recent attacks on the village," she began. "I fear that our enemies may be growing bolder by the day and that we may soon face a threat greater than anything we've encountered before." Naruto's heart sank at Karen's words, but he refused to let despair consume him. He knew that they would need to remain vigilant if they were to protect the village and its inhabitants from harm. "You're right, Karen. We can't afford to let our guard down," Naruto replied, his voice filled with determination. "We'll need to increase patrols along the village perimeter and strengthen our defenses in case of another attack." Karen nodded in agreement, her expression filled with determination. "I'll make sure to coordinate with the other ninja teams and get everything set up as soon as possible." As Karen left the room to carry out her orders, Naruto couldn't help but feel a sense of unease settle over him. The trials of leadership weighed heavily on his mind, reminding him of the immense responsibility he bore as the leader of the Uzumaki clan. But even as he grappled with his doubts and fears, Naruto knew that he could not afford to falter. He had sworn to protect the village and its inhabitants, and he would do whatever it took to fulfill that promise. In the days that followed, Naruto worked tirelessly to strengthen the village's defenses and prepare for the inevitable conflict that loomed on the horizon. He organized training exercises for the clan members, honing their skills and preparing them for battle. But despite their best efforts, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling of impending doom that hung over the village like a dark cloud. He knew that their enemies were growing bolder by the day and that they would need to be prepared for whatever challenges lay ahead. Sure enough, it wasn't long before Uzumaki came under attack once more, this time by a powerful rogue ninja who sought to claim the village as his own. Naruto and his companions fought bravely, their determination unwavering as they battled against overwhelming odds. But despite their best efforts, they soon found themselves outnumbered and outmatched. The rogue ninja unleashed a barrage of powerful jutsu, their destructive force shaking the very foundations of the village. As the battle raged on, Naruto found himself faced with a difficult decision. With the village in danger of being overrun, he knew that he would need to make a sacrifice in order to protect the ones he loved. Summoning all of his strength and resolve, Naruto unleashed his most powerful jutsu, channeling the Nine Tails chakra within him to create a massive barrier that shielded the village from harm. The sheer force of the jutsu sent shockwaves rippling through the air, pushing back the rogue ninja and his forces with a deafening roar. But as the dust settled and the last of their enemies retreated into the shadows, Naruto collapsed to the ground, exhausted and drained from the effort. His body ached with pain, but his spirit remained unbroken. As he looked out over the village, Naruto knew that the trials of leadership would never truly end. But no matter what challenges may come their way, he would face them head-on, guided by the unbreakable bonds of friendship, loyalty, and the unwavering spirit of the Uzumaki clan. The atmosphere in Uzumaki was tense as the village braced itself for the inevitable clash with their enemies. Naruto and his companions worked tirelessly to bolster the village's defenses and prepare for the final showdown that loomed on the horizon. But despite their efforts, a sense of unease hung heavy in the air as they knew that their enemies would stop at nothing to destroy them. As the days passed, rumors began to spread of a powerful new adversary who had emerged from the shadows, a dark presence whose strength rivaled even that of the most fearsome ninja. Whispers of his name sent shivers down the spines of those who heard it, for they knew that he was a force to be reckoned with. Naruto knew that they would need to be prepared for whatever challenges lay ahead, and so he called upon his allies to join him in the final battle against their enemies. Together, they gathered in the village square, their resolve unwavering as they prepared to face their greatest challenge yet. "The time has come, my friends," Naruto declared, his voice ringing out with authority. "We stand on the brink of war, but we will not falter. We will fight with all our strength and all our courage, for the sake of our village, our clan, and everything we hold dear." The clan members nodded in agreement, their expressions filled with determination. They knew that the road ahead would be difficult, but they were prepared to face whatever trials may come their way. As they made their final preparations for battle, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling of unease that gnawed at him. He knew that their enemies were growing stronger by the day and that they would need to be at their best if they were to emerge victorious. Sure enough, it wasn't long before Uzumaki came under attack once more, this time by a massive army of mercenaries and rogue ninja who sought to claim the village as their own. Naruto and his companions fought bravely, their determination unwavering as they battled against overwhelming odds. But despite their best efforts, they soon found themselves outnumbered and outmatched. The enemy forces pressed forward relentlessly, their attacks growing more ferocious with each passing moment. As the battle raged on, Naruto found himself faced with a difficult decision. With the village in danger of being overrun, he knew that he would need to make a sacrifice in order to protect the ones he loved. Summoning all of his strength and resolve, Naruto unleashed his most powerful jutsu, channeling the Nine Tails chakra within him to create a massive barrier that shielded the village from harm. The sheer force of the jutsu sent shockwaves rippling through the air, pushing back the enemy forces and buying precious time for his allies to regroup. But even as the enemy forces were driven back, Naruto knew that the battle was far from over. He could sense the dark presence of their leader lurking in the shadows, his power unfathomable, and his thirst for destruction insatiable. With a determined glint in his eye, Naruto rallied his allies and charged headlong into the heart of the enemy's stronghold, determined to confront their leader and put an end to his reign of terror once and for all. As they fought their way through wave after wave of enemy soldiers, Naruto and his companions found themselves faced with increasingly powerful adversaries. But they refused to back down, their spirits unbroken as they pressed forward with unwavering determination. Finally, they reached the inner sanctum of the enemy's stronghold, where their leader awaited them, his eyes gleaming with malice as he prepared to unleash his full power upon them. With a defiant roar, Naruto and his allies launched themselves into battle, their attacks raining down upon their enemy with relentless fury. The air crackled with energy as jutsu clashed and blades clashed, each blow ringing out like a thunderclap in the darkness. But despite their best efforts, their enemy proved to be a formidable opponent, his strength seemingly limitless as he countered their every move with ease. Naruto knew that they would need to dig deep if they were to emerge victorious, for the fate of the village and its inhabitants hung in the balance. Summoning every ounce of his strength and resolve, Naruto unleashed his most powerful jutsu, channeling the Nine Tails chakra within him to create a massive shockwave that sent their enemy reeling. With a mighty roar, he launched himself forward, his fists blazing with chakra as he delivered a devastating blow that sent their enemy crashing to the ground. As the dust settled and the echoes of battle faded into silence, Naruto and his companions stood victorious, their enemy defeated and the village safe once more. But amidst the rubble and ruin, a sense of hope shone bright, for they knew that as long as they stood together, nothing could ever tear them apart. And so, with their heads held high and their spirits unbroken, Naruto and his companions returned to Uzumaki, ready to face whatever trials may come their way, united as one clan, one family, forever bound by the unbreakable bonds of friendship and loyalty. But the threat of their enemies vanquished and Uzumaki standing strong once more, a sense of hope began to blossom in the hearts of its inhabitants. The village had weathered the storm of adversity and emerged victorious, its spirit unbroken and its bond stronger than ever before. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, Uzumaki began to undergo a transformation, as the scars of battle were gradually replaced by signs of new life and growth. Homes were rebuilt, streets were repaired, and fields were once again teeming with life as the village began to thrive anew. Naruto and his companions worked tirelessly to aid in the village's recovery efforts, their determination unwavering as they labored side by side with their fellow clan members. But amidst the hustle and bustle of rebuilding, a sense of peace settled over the village as its inhabitants found solace in the knowledge that they were safe once more. One day, as Naruto patrolled the village, he found himself drawn to the outskirts, where the ruins of an old temple stood silent and forgotten. Intrigued by the sight, he ventured inside, his footsteps echoing against the worn stone floors. As he explored the temple, Naruto stumbled upon a hidden chamber, its walls adorned with ancient symbols and markings. Curious, he approached the altar at the center of the room, where a single beam of sunlight streamed down from a hole in the ceiling, illuminating a lone flower that had taken root amidst the rubble. Naruto couldn't help but marvel at the sight, for despite the destruction that surrounded it, the flower stood tall and proud, its petals unfurling in the gentle breeze. It was a symbol of hope and rebirth, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, life would always find a way to flourish. Inspired by the sight, Naruto returned to the village with renewed determination, his heart filled with hope for the future. He knew that there would still be challenges ahead, but he also knew that as long as they stood together, they could overcome anything that came their way. And so, with their spirits lifted and their bonds strengthened by the trials they had faced, Naruto and his companions looked to the future with hope and optimism, ready to face whatever challenges may come their way, united as one clan, one family, forever bound by the unbreakable bonds of friendship and loyalty. In the wake of the trials and triumphs that had shaped their journey, the legacy of the Uzumaki clan endured, a testament to the resilience, strength, and unwavering spirit of its members. As the years passed and new generations rose to take their place, the village of Uzashigakure flourished, its people united in their commitment to uphold the values and traditions of their ancestors. Naruto had stepped down from his role as leader, passing the mantle on to the next generation of Uzumaki ninja, but his influence continued to be felt throughout the village. As a revered elder and mentor, he dedicated himself to passing on his knowledge and wisdom to the younger generations, instilling in them the same sense of determination and compassion that had guided him on his own journey. Sasuke had also found his place within the village, serving as a trusted advisor and protector, his skills honed through years of training and experience. Together with Naruto, Sakura, and their fellow clan members, he worked tirelessly to ensure the safety and prosperity of the village, his loyalty unwavering in the face of any challenge. As the years passed, new faces joined the ranks of the Uzumaki clan, their bonds forged through shared experiences and a common purpose. Among them was Boruto Uzumaki, Naruto's own son, who had inherited his father's indomitable spirit and determination to protect the village and its inhabitants. Boruto grew up surrounded by tales of his father's adventures and the legacy of the Uzumaki clan, and he was determined to make his own mark on the world. With the guidance of Naruto and his fellow mentors, he trained tirelessly to master his ninja skills and carry on the proud traditions of his ancestors. But as peace settled over Uzashigakure, a new threat emerged on the horizon, one that would test the strength and unity of the village like never before. Rumors began to spread of a dark power rising in the shadows, a force that sought to plunge the world into chaos and destruction. Naruto and his companions knew that they would need to be prepared for whatever challenges lay ahead, and so they set to work training the next generation of Uzumaki ninja to face the looming threat. Together, they honed their skills and forged new bonds of friendship and camaraderie, ready to stand united against any foe that dared to threaten their home. As the day of reckoning drew near, Naruto stood atop the highest tower of Uzashigakure, gazing out over the village with a sense of pride and determination. He knew that the legacy of the Uzumaki clan would endure, passed down from one generation to the next, a beacon of hope in the face of darkness. And as he looked to the future, Naruto knew that no matter what challenges may come their way, the bonds of friendship and loyalty that had united them would never falter. For as long as they stood together, they would be unstoppable, their legacy enduring for generations to come. And so, with their heads held high and their hearts filled with hope, Naruto and his companions prepared to face whatever trials may come their way, ready to protect the village and its inhabitants with all their strength and determination. End of the here. So how was this story? I hope you like it. And if you like it, share this story with your friends and like the video too. And don't forget to subscribe our channel for daily awesome fanfiction. Okay, it's time for me to go. Bye bye.